we are here to discuss future-proofing of AEM strategy and return on investment for decision makers in 2025. So let's get going. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to have you here on this live event that I'm presenting today. A little bit about me. So my journey started long time ago when there was a book about electronics and I got hooked up about it. It led me to pursue my passion and obtain a bachelor's of science in electric engineering. Instead of hardware, I focused on software development though, and my road early crossed with Adobe's Macromedia. Anyone ring a bell? Macromedia was a software for early CD titles development and later on acquired by Adobe. After many years in Java Enterprise arena, I ran into Adobe CQ5, which later became AEM 5.6 in 2013. It's where I started my career, my early encounter with Adobe Experience Manager. What keeps me and my customer excited? Adobe has been heavily invested since the acquisition of CQ and is constantly investing in AEM. Java evolution is here. It stays current, and it's always good to develop in Java. It's exciting. Web technologies are also evolving constantly, and they are also supported by AEM. Now we are also adding AI, artificial intelligence, and language models into the mix, which even gets it even more exciting. But it's not about me. Let's move on to the next slide. Adobe Experience Manager is a powerful platform for managing digital experiences, but many mid-sized and enterprise companies struggle with it. What are the struggles? Increased implementation costs, slow return on investment, ongoing maintenance challenges. How to maximize the ROI, the true cost of stalled AEM projects, and how to get back on track. So if you're a MarTech manager or engineering manager, and you've been tasked in your company to deliver a new fancy Adobe Experience Manager-based content management system to power up your marketing websites and support your campaigns, you have a huge task ahead of you. Unfortunately, you won't be able to build your websites with an existing out-of-the-box product, widgets, unless you have done it so before. Relying on outside expertise is often the solution, and choosing the right help is not easy, as it turns out. Starting from scratch or migrating an existing website or digital assets can be challenging. You've probably experienced that. After lengthy internal debates within your company, the project is a green light, it's a go, everybody's excited, and soon the implementation journey starts. The team or teams working on the project are running into issues, such as pushing deliveries and causing delays. I have been there, I've seen it, it's not a pretty picture, but trust me. How to get back on track a stalled AEM project. First, excuse me, we need to identify the projected versus delivered solutions. Ask for root cause analysis. Deliver working features in small chunks, incrementally, and often validate against requirements. So we're talking about the Scrum, which is established practice for delivering software projects in many organizations. Make adjustments to the teams, members, and improve their skills if needed. It's often early in the project, a lot of teams are hiring and getting not the right skilled AEM developers or front end or UI developers, and that causes problems early in the project. Like, in addition to that, I've identified personally a few, there are actually 9 key roles for a successful Adobe Experience Manager implementation project, And I did identify them in one of my articles back in 2020. It's very important to train your internal team as early as possible and have them practice. Common pitfalls and how to avoid them. The biggest one is the roadmap set ahead is not clear. Without the roadmap, without the plan, the things usually don't go well. Best practices by Adobe are not followed. Adobe has extensive best practices in their websites, which are usually followed by the consultants and their team. And if they're not implemented properly, probably 90% of the projects will go wrong. Teams are not trained or some skills are not covered. I already touched upon this. It's very important that the developers are familiar with the Adobe Experience Manager and the details around it. The discovery or analysis of the issue solved must be exhaustive to build a clear set of requirements. It's very important the discovery phase to be done properly in terms of touching upon the many details, not only within the AEM, but also within the surrounded ecosystem, or so to speak, in layman terms, is what integrations do you have to have. The time for discovery and picking an option takes too long. I've seen this. It's called analysis paralysis syndrome. It takes too long until we make a decision instead of trying and failing earlier. Cost-saving strategies for AEM maintenance and scaling. AEM provides a list of performance optimizations. Slow-running queries and errors must be fixed. Build pages are super heavy and are not using proper caching strategies. You probably experienced that. Development and or deploy release workflows are not properly implemented. Quality control is critical as well. Security controls must be in place. Now that I'm thinking it, also accessibility is really important, which is not added to this slide, but I'll add it after the presentation. And now, what is the advancement that Adobe has done? AEM was on-premise application, enterprise application, Java application, and Adobe realized that pushing this as a native cloud application and using the cloud architecture, it's going to be extremely beneficial for their customers. It helps with the efficiency of automation. The workflows can be streamlined, reduce the manual effort, and improve the performance. Cost considerations. An overview of cost difference between maintaining an on-prem solution and transitioning to a cloud-native environment. This is actually just touching upon this subject, but the cost on the cloud, although it seems to be more expensive as a license, in long term, it's going to save a lot on the IT maintenance. Industry trends and best practices. So it is important to follow the industry or similar companies to see how they have modernized their AEM implementation to increase return on investment. Going to the summit, listening to webinars by Adobe, listening to the consulting presentations. How to get there? Identify the potential gaps in current setup, maybe brought by your development team, by your MarTech team, and provide the steps required to modernize it.